Hare Krishna. Good morning, my dear ones, my dear Prabhus, dear Matajis, soul sisters and soul brothers. Magandang umaga. It's a nice way to start the week kasi we are entering the realm of our study in our Bhagavad Gita, the yoga philosophy, and our meditation. So hello. Hare Krishna. Happy Monday, Abby, Carice, Chloe, Hare Krishna, John Reyes. Thank you for joining kanina sa ating Japa session. Karen, Levi Prabhu, Marina, Hare Krishna, Mel, Sigmund, Stella, McCoy Prabhu, Oliver Prabhu, Hare Krishna, good morning. And if you could see and hear me clearly, isang like naman dyan. Let me see lang. Sound checking. Internet checking. Salamat. Question. Sino yung nag-chant yesterday, Sunday? You can type 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Tignan natin kung ilang. So, it's already our first week. So, medyo tapos na yung mga warming up natin, introduction natin. So, sino yung mga nag-chant yesterday? 1 round, 1 round. 3 rounds, good. So, the japa, the session ng ating meditation, thank you Mel, 1 round, will be felt as we progress and we chant regularly. So, hindi siya instant, like IV dose na mararamdaman mo kagad siya. The more we chant, just like the students from the first few batches, nandyan sila ngayon, yung mga may VBA, madalas sila yung mga first few batches. The more you chant regularly, doon mo mararamdaman. And pag nawala yung chanting, makikita mo kung paano ka dati. Ganun pala yung cloudy yung pag-iisip. Kasi one is not connecting to the self, to others, and to the Supreme. And this is our spiritual connection, Wi-Fi natin, the chanting. So yes, thank you sa mga bagong dating. We have Gigi, we have Shay, Mata G. So you know the drill. We should enter the realm ng study ng ating yoga philosophy, Bhagavad Gita as it is, in the right mood, in the mood of request, by paying our obeisances and respect sa ating spiritual teachers. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance, with the torchlight of knowledge. So, our philosophy, our meditation is not just merely magic. It is not instant. Hindi siya emotion or sentiments lang. Naramdaman ko to, ito na yung gagawin natin. No? We should use our knowledge, our intelligence. There should be questions and one should seek answers. So one should inquire. That's why a lot of things are happening to us. Minsan, we are just patching it up. Pero hindi yun yung solusyon. Like, pag may problema yung isang tao, he will drink a lot, he will do some drugs, instant sense gratification. But, does it solve the problem? Hindi. Na pa-patch up lang siya. Same thing. If we are feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, we have the anxiety, it could not be cured by medicine only. Manggagaling yung cure, yung recovery galing sa sarili. At the same time, galing yung connection natin to the Supreme. And one way is knowledge, if we understand what's happening. Not the material understanding lang. No, if we understand what's the real purpose, what's happening, why it is happening, then we would know. And by the help of meditation, we will move forward. So today is another mindful session Kasi we're using the mind. We want to understand the mind. Last time, sino nakakatanda nung meditation class natin? Ano yung diniscuss natin? Ano yung 5 horses? You can type. Na hindi tayo yon. Let's see. Ano yung topic natin? Last Friday. Tama, Friday. Senses. Thank you very much, Levi. Yes, we discussed about the senses. We are not the senses. And we should not be under the control of the senses. Hindi natin siya master. Hindi natin siya go dasa. Master, dasa is servant, and senses is the go. So we're not the servant of the senses. We must be practicing, aspiring to be a Goswami, master of the senses. We can control the senses. If we are just servant of the senses, we're living our life just for sense gratification. Just for eating, mating, defending, sleeping, seeing nice things, hearing, servant of sex, pleasure. So one could not be a yogi, a yoga teacher, or even a leader if one is under these influences. So again, qualification is way different from certification. So sino yung magkocontrol ng senses na to? So yes. So kita nyo ba yung share screen? Thank you. So welcome sa ating relationship with oneself. So we are going deeper muna before we connect to others. We're going inward. Our journey within. The journey to self-discovery. Our topic for today are mind and intelligence. They are different. So we must not be confused. Mind is the function in perceiving the senses. Kung ano naramdaman ng hands mo, mapiperceive ng mind mo. Also, some function of the brain, the body is with the mind. Intelligence is how to use it with the knowledge. And there are 2 types of intelligence, the material intelligence and the spiritual intelligence. Hindi porket may PhD yung isang tao, he's very spiritual. Sometimes, nagiging false ego pa nga niya yun. To not be a spiritual person, magiging materialistic, atheistic pa nga siya. So, sino uli yung horses? That's the senses. And this figure, kasama siya dun sa Katha Upanishad. The individual passenger in the car of the material body is the soul. Ayan yun. The intelligence is the driver. So, yung intelligence, the mind is the rope. The horses are the senses. The chariot is the body. So the self thus enjoys or suffers in the association of the mind and senses. It is understood by great thinkers. One will perceive happiness and distress depende kung ano nararamdaman ng mind and senses niya. So to control the senses, one should have a strong mind. So there's a big challenge if one have the addiction tendency. Hindi lang dependency, yung addiction, yung mahirap doon. Addicted with the process, diba? Sometimes drugs, sometimes shopping, sometimes feeding the ego, power, daming intoxicants. Diba? Kasama doon yung money and kasama doon yung dominance. So these are also addictions. So how to control that? One should have a strong mind for one to be able to control the senses. If one's mind is weak, you cannot control the mind, what happens? One will be experiencing a lot of lower self qualities, Ano yung lower self na yun? Nandun yung depression, nandun yung anxiety, nandun yung doubt, frustration, lamentation, delusion. So lower self natin yun. We always want to rise above yung lower self natin. Mapunta tayo dun sa high consciousness, sa higher self. Ano yung meron doon? That's the joy, the bliss, that's the clarity of the mind, soberness, the gravity. Dun yung masaya. Kaya the process of Krishna consciousness, even in the 60s, tawag nila rito, stay high forever. Diba? Hindi mo na kailangan mag-drugs. Wala nang bababa. You stay high forever. You do the sadhana every day. You chant. You read. You study. You associate. You're staying high forever. That's why you see the Hare Krishna, the monks, they're happy. They don't need drugs. And they're not innocent with it. They have experience with this kind of earth movers or kind of substances. They experience that. They could compare. I've met a lot of monks, even the highest way na makuha nila in drugs, they gave it up. Kasi when you're living a high life, the rest will be a lower taste na. Like yung bata, pag naglalaro siya ng simpleng toy car, tapos bigyan mo siya ng RC or bigyan mo siya ng mismong car na pwede siyang sumakay, bibitawan niya yung toy car niya. Kasi may higher taste siya sa toy. Pero pag wala kang bibigay na mas higher taste, hindi niya bibitawan yun, hindi yung maagaw yung laruan ng bata. Same thing, people will experience being addicted to petty things. Collecting, spending their life, earn yung money nila, time nila. But bigyan mo sila ng higher taste, they would have no taste dun sa mga like intoxicants and all because they live their high life, higher consciousness. And it will help you. It's a big clarity. Another level, tawagin namin dun another level ng soberness. Diba, soberness, hindi siya intoxicant, hindi siya intoxicated by any substance. Another level, kasi iba yung lifestyle mo. May nakikita ka naman walang bisyo eh. May mga tao naman na clean lifestyle, clean yung diet, tapos wala silang bisyo. Pero yung thinking na iba. Iba yung consciousness. So we want to rise above pa dun. So if the mind is uncontrolled, just like in your Bhagavad Gita, you can mark it. This is one of my favorite verse. Chapter 6, verse 6. Please read yung purport neto afterwards. The Sanskrit, Bandur atmat manastasya hinatmaitvat manajitaha. Anatmanas tu satruve. Satrutve. Vartitatmaiva satrutvat. This is Krishna talking to Arjuna, chapter 6.6. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. For one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So, please raise your hand if sino dito yung palagi umattend ng board meeting. Board meeting sa sarili niya. Tapos minsan hindi magkasundo, nag-away-away sa sarili. Should I do this? Kailangan ko ba gawin to? Ang dami nakaka-experience nito. Lalo-lalo na kapag mag-exercise, di ba? Tatakbo ka, andyan na yung sapatos mo. Tatakbo pa ako, o kaya mag-workout ba ako ngayon? Di ba? Minsan mas matagal pa yung pag-iisip mo kaysa yung workout mismo, o kaya yung yoga mo. Tagal pa, mamaya na, bagong kain pa ako. Ang daming dahilan, di ba? Funny, it may seem so funny sa mga small things na to, pero in some scale, mararamdaman natin siya na, teka lang, ano dapat ma-perceive ko nung sa binigay nung kasama ko? Kailangan ko ba ma-bad trip? Or kailangan ko palagpasin? Ganun na lang siya palagi. Sinasadya niya yun sa akin. Diba? So, ang dami. Papaglaro ka ng mind mo. What more pa yung bisyo? Diba? What more pa yung mga old habits natin? Or if you're procrastinating, gagawin ko na ba to? Tingnan ko muna yung cellphone ko. Kaya magbabasa ka ng libro. Teka lang, tingnan ko yung notification. Tapos 30 minutes ka na dun sa phone mo. Ang daming bagay. Diba? There are also in the shadow of darkness. Like depression. Pwede ka ma-shoot uli sa hole na yon. Listen ka lang sa music, tignan mo lang yung picture, may mag-trigger lang sa'yo na memory, yung mga anchors mo dati. Andun ka na uli. Di ba yun nga yung binabantayan natin, huwag tayo pumunta dun sa mga area na yon. Saan yun? Saan yung area na yon? Dito lang yun, Hindi mo kailangan lumayo. It is the own mind. The process of yoga is to conquer the mind. Control the senses, then conquer the mind. If one failed to do so, worst enemy, lack of self-confidence, self-doubt, diba, frustration, ang dami pa din ma-experience. Kahit lahat ng factors sa paligid mo, those who are privileged, meron silang good family, well-to-do family, diba? Support system. Pero it's not an assurance na magiging okay ka. It's a big help. Again, mind, diba? Those like, may mga chefs, ng mga sumikat. I was into a lot of underground music when I was younger, arts and all. Pero nagugulat ako, teka lang, bakit yung mga sikat, ayun yung gusto ko puntahan. Tapos, bata pa lang sila, they're living their rockstar life. Pero ba't sila nagsisuicide? Diba? They have the money, they have the girls, they have the intoxicants, they're traveling. Pero ba't sila pupunta sa stage na yun? Still, the mind. So, sino dito yung 100% kabati niya yung mind niya? Peaceful sila, shanty-shanty. Tumatawa si Karen. Sige na, 95%. The mind is always very tricky. Sabi nga, one should not trust the mind. It is advised for us to have a strong support group, much more mentors who are much more advanced sa atin. Lalo na kapag may mga big decisions tayo in life. Kasi the mind is so tricky. Hindi mo alam if we're illusioned, nadala lang tayo ng emotion natin. Yung mind natin could be just so tricky. Hindi mo alam yung board meeting mo, hindi na ikaw yung nakaupo dun sa presidente ng board members. Yung other voice mo na dyan. Mahirap na pag wala ng board meeting, yung automatic na ginagawa ng body mo because your mind is telling something. Nasa lower self ka na forever. So don't worry, marami tayong inner battles. Lahat may ganon. Sino yung kalaban mo? Your own mind. Your own voice there. How to win in that kind of war, in that kind of battle? You start it with waking up. Sabi nga ng mga monks, kailangan mo mauna magising verses dun sa araw kay Surya. Kaya nga may mga yogi, magkatao dun sa mga yogi, teka, tanghali ka nagigising. Surya Namaskar, you offer. Om Namo Surya Namaha. You offer your obeisances, respect, Namaskar to Surya. That's an offering. It's hindi lang siya way of feeling better, feeling good. As an offering. So, small steps. We call it Brahma Muhurta time, before the sunrise. You start meditating, you start chanting, you start your sadhana. Hindi siya madali. Easier said than done. Before I became a monk, nag-practice ako nito. Nag-practice ako nito sa bahay ko. Tapos when I traveled India, talagang, ang taas pati na sa temple. Of course, having the environment, having the people around you, it's easier. Pero pag mag-isa, may hirap. But still, we have to. Your weapon is your Japamala, your connection to the Supreme. It will bring you, ground you, and yung connection mo, you'll be high forever. It helps you to control the mind. Not 100%, hindi siya one time, big time, tapos okay ka na all throughout the year. You have to do it. Why? Because we have these old habits. Ang tagal natin siya ginagawa. Ang tagal nating di aware sa mind, ang tagal nating hindi nakokontrol yung mind. Ang tagal natin nakalive sa past. Ano yung mga sad things na naisip natin? Yung mga past. Masasad ka ba dun sa future? Hindi mo nga alam yung nangyayari sa future. Yung mga traumas, yung mga sinupress nating emotions, diba? Kung anong character mo ngayon, personality mo ngayon, big factor doon is yung experiences mo sa past. Hindi lang minsan this lifetime, even the previous lives. Yung iba hindi mo matatrace. Ba't kaya yung bata na to, ang saya-saya naman ng family and all, tapos depressive kagad siya. May traces pa siya ng past niya. Yung iba doon, we cannot heal going going back. Minsan kailangan mo mag-move forward. Minsan pinoprotektahan ka ng mind mo just to suppress kasi it will be so dark revisiting. Di ba pag nag-yoga ka, much more yung mga talagang intense na, tapos you know the flow, then the mind mo will be much more focused. May mga moment, di ko lang po na-experience na to. Nakwento rin sa akin doon ng mga nag-run, nag-jogging ng mga long distance. Kausap mo yung sarili mo palagi, di ba? Then may mga realization na pumapasok out of nowhere. Much more enchanting. May pumapasok na realization. Teka lang, parang ang sama ako palang tao. Lagi ako nagka-point ng finger sa ibang tao. Pero hindi ko nakikita yung sarili ko. So this kind of introspection, kailangan natin yun. Kailangan natin ng mirror. Minsan tao, in the form of mentors, if you have full trust and a relationship sa mentors, you could receive yung rose petals and thunderbolts sa mentors. Those are forms of love. They could appreciate you and they could tell you the truth. If one could receive that, much better for our growth. Pero if one is living in the past, ang hirap. Laging past na lang. Minsan yung mga moments lang na nangyari sa past, ililive mo na forever. Sinabi kasi ng nanay ko sa akin to, kaya ganito ako. Or na-experience ko kasi to kaya ganito ako. We're not removing yung or ini-invalid yung experience na yon. Pero it's our own self na makakatulong para mag-move forward. Para mag-decide, okay, expired na yon. Yung experience ko dati, expired na yon. I should not blame that. So lahat tayo may past. So we should be sensitive enough na hindi lang tayo yung may battle. Tapos lahat ng tao sa paligid natin mag-a-adjust. Hindi tayo yung sentro ng universe. Lahat may battle. Lalo na yung pandemic. Everyone is facing their own battle. So we should be sensitive enough with that. And there are the fear for our future. Lalo na same, nag-pandemic. Na-shaken yung mga belief system natin. Na-shaken yung mga titles natin. Di ba? With the higher ranks, they're working as in this kind of industry. Bumaba yung sweldo. Na-touch yung ego. Diba? Tapos nagkakaroon ng anxiety. Anxiety is the fear of the unknown. Fear sa future. Hindi nila alam kung ano mangyayari sa future. Fear is directly alam mo yung mangyayari tapos hindi mo makaharapin. Anxiety is you don't know. Then there will be panic attacks and all. Worrying. You cannot also live in the future. You cannot say, kung ano meron sa future, baka mamaya kinakatakot mo mangyari 10 years ago, hindi ka umabot doon. 2 years lang pala buhay mo. And you cannot plan ng todo-todo that would be sucking out your life force. Sobrang panic mo, sobrang focus mo lang doon. Sobrang focus ka lang sa money, security, and all. Then you're not living your life. You're not appreciating yung nasa paligid mo, your relationships. So there is an illusion living in the past and living in the future. I too have experienced this being lost. It's only by the mercy ng aking spiritual teacher kaya niya ako na-awaken dun sa idea. And lagi kami nag-exchange ng email. When I was younger, hindi naman ako monk agad. But I do practice Krishna consciousness. I was always in contact with them. And ka-email ko yung mga monks. And I have connection with my spiritual teacher. And because of this, nung sinabi niya sa akin yun, nalagpasan ko lahat. Basically. Gusto niyo ba malaman kung ano yung sinani sa akin? Pwede ko sikreto na lang yun. But it's very powerful. Sige, yes daw. My spiritual master, his name is His Holiness Giridhari Swami. Disciple siya ni Srila Prabhupada, yung translator ng Bhagavad Gita, and also the founder ng International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Guru niya si Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. guro niya si um, uh, part and all na dire-diretso hanggang matrace yung mga different gurus. So ito yung sabi niya sa akin. And I know it will be a big help, saka very awakening this for everyone. We can't change the past. It's over and done with. No use to lament over things we've done or not done. Forget it. And since we have limited control over the future, we shouldn't dream too much about it either. We can make reasonable plans, but not plans so excessive that they suck out our life force. Act in times that are witty means to focus on the present moment. That is within our power. This is particularly true in our practice of Krishna consciousness. We need to be in the present moment when we chant the holy name. We must chant without offense, with full attention, and with love. Such chanting will quickly attract the attention of Krishna. Agridhari Swami. So we cannot change the past kung anong ginawa mo sa hindi mo ginawa. Even if you have mountains of gold, the monks doesn't do the gambling, but I bet you cannot bring back even a moment from your past. Moment means 1/7 of a second, one blink of the eye. That's one moment. You cannot bring that back. Ang lalong-lalo na kapag iniisip mo palagi yung past mo and you're just wasting the present. Same thing with the future. If you're too much worrying about the future, you're just wasting your present moment. Hindi kailangan maging happy-go-lucky lang. You can make plans, reasonable plans. You can secure in your future, but you should not be excessive na nakadedicate na yung life mo sa, alam mo yun, wala kang assurance. The near future is best. It will make you an assurance that you're safe for the next few months, few years. Pero like 10 years, 20 years, it's too much. You cannot say anything, di ba? Ang dami, di ba? Kala mo forever na kayo ng partner mo, pero dumating yung pandemic, wala na. Ang dami yung plano, di ba? So, ganun yung future. Trust no future, actually. You don't know also yung expiration ng life mo. You cannot delay yung spiritual practice. Saka na ako mag-seryoso sa spiritual practice, sa search ko sa self-realization. Sa search ko kay the Supreme, kay search ko kay Krishna. Pag retired na ako ngayon, ito muna gagawin ko, no? Sino may assurance na pupunta ka doon sa retirement age? Wala. Diba? That's the yoga philosophy. We will not shy away to talk about that. It is just there. Nakaabang lang siya. If one is born, death is certain. The question is, hindi natin alam kung kailan. Only Krishna knows. It might be 70 years old tayo, 80 years old. It might be 50 years old. It might be this year, this month, this day. So if you're living in the high life, in Krishna conscious life, you'll not be afraid of that. And if you're not afraid of that, you'll not be afraid of anything. So how to be in that state of mind, state of being? The big help is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It grounds you, it connects you as well. It grounds you in humility, and it connects you high kay Krishna. And yung illusion natin will be dispersed, hopefully, slowly but surely. At the same time, our past and future, ayun yung mga unwanted baggages natin, automatically, nagka-cleanse siya. Don't be discouraged kasi, well, charan, marami nagsasabi sa akin ito. Habang nagka-chanta ko, ang daming lumalabas, yung mga suppressed memory ko, yung mga kinalimutan ko na, yung mga parang hindi ako lumalabas siya. Kaya hinihinto ko yung mag-chant eh. You just continue. The analogy of this is just like cleaning your old stock room. Or if buong pandemic hindi ka naglinis ng kwarto mo, linisin mo. Diba? Habang naglilinis ka, the dust will go up in the air. na-atching ka, humas ka. Marami naman, uso naman mask ngayon. So, hindi porket na-atching ka, napupuwing ka because of the dust, kailangan mo na huminto. That is the process of cleaning. So, when we chant, it is just like cleaning the room. Yung mga dust pupunta sa air, pupunta sa surface. Ganun din tayo. Yung mga previous us na parang feeling mo kinalimutan mo, yung mga memories, bumabalik siya while chanting. Or outside chanting. Yung mga, ano mo yun, we call it purification. It is removing the unwanted baggages. Ano kailangan mo gawin? Ignore. Tolerate it, ignore it. Kasi lalagpas siya. It will settle. The dust in the air will settle. Just continue cleaning. Huwag mo sakyan. Don't dwell on it. Marami may sakit nito. Alam mo, pag naglilinis ng kwarto, tapos ang dami mo nakikita mga old box of memories. Tapos upo ka na, titignan mo yung mga box of memories, mag-reminisce ka na. Tapos hapon na, hindi ka, teka lang, naglilinis ako Ano na ako na-experience? Na-experience mo yung Karen? Tumatawa si Karen. Di ba? So, teka lang, naglilinis ako. May tignan mo yung mga old pictures. Same. Continue cleaning. Don't dwell on this. Chant. So, it's part of it. You're moving on. Oh, it's good to know. Good to reminisce. Diba? So, but yung iba di mo na mababalik. Di mo na mababalik yung young body mo na problema mo lang anong assignment. O, pwede mong gawin ngayon yun. Problemahin mo lang anong assignment ni Radha Charan. Pero that's the past. So, continue to clean it. Minsan may attitude or behavior tayo lumalabas. Then control it. So, we must be aware sa trap ng ego na we're practicing spiritual yoga and meditation. You are better than others. No, we are not. Our goal is to be humble than the blade of the grass. The more you practice it, the more effective na nangyayari yun, the more humble dapat tayo. Kapag you're thinking na you're better than others, hindi ka nga vegetarian. Hindi ka nga nagka-chant nang-inom ka nga palagi. Sabi ni Radha Charan, pag yoga teacher daw, dapat yan. If you are thinking like that, we're being trapped with the ego. So, we practice it. We be strict with our own self. Diba? Be strict ka dun sa board meeting nyo. Kung sino dapat yung in control. The passion and the others should serve the real purpose, the Dharma. So, we're talking about the mind and intelligence. Hopefully, nag-act together sila na puput mo in the right position. And that is the goal. How? Using the spiritual intelligence. How do we gain that spiritual intelligence? The Yoga Meditation book, the scriptures, this Bhagavad Gita. This is not coming from an author as speculation. May pumunta ng India, umuwi, ito na siya, ito na yung sinabi niya. Or may nag-drugs, may nag-psychedelic, ito na yung nangyari, may nag-meditate yung nangyari. No? This is coming from the source, kay Krishna, that is being passed down hanggang ngayon. So, ito yung authenticity ng scriptures, ng sastra. At it will be always relevant. Si Arjuna experienced this. Diba? Hinanap niya yung turning point niya. He seek for the shelter ng guru. In a humble position, he inquired. He followed. Pag may hindi siya maintindihan, he asked questions again. Kaya humaba yung Bhagavad Gita. Pero in the right mood. In the mood of humility, not to challenge. Of course, this is not blind faith. That's why kailangan ng spiritual intelligence. Ask questions, seek. And I assure you, the more we study, especially yung 7 to 8 o'clock, yung kanina, everyday yon, it's a deeper yoga philosophy. A while ago, we were talking about the process of creation. So you wouldn't find a lot of scriptures or any scriptures that will talk about in detail the process of creation. So in that way, mas maintindihan natin. Anyway, also the mind is part of the creation. What is the nature of the mind? How does it work? And the assurance na hindi tayo yung mind. Yung experience and perception ng mind, hindi tayo yun. Hindi tayo yung happiness and distress. Hindi tayo yung depression. It is just the perception of mind. It is just the experience of the mind. And after a long time, it will be just a memory or a suppressed memory or nakalimutan mo na, next life na. The power of forgetfulness. Tapos na yon. Pero of course, if you did something good and bad, may good karma and bad karma din yun. We'll talk about karma in the future. But this, knowing the mind, it will help you to control the senses. And how to control the mind, how to have a strong mind, you need to have a strong intelligence, spiritual intelligence. How? Do the chanting, do the reading, and the classes, the association. Do not follow it blindly. Scrutinizingly, study it. And don't use our speculation, the whimsical mind. Invento yun. Eto, feeling ko ito yung meaning niya. Doon nag-water down lahat. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, maraming so-called religion and groups, iba-ibang grupo kasi dahil doon sa thinking na yon. Ito yung interpretation yan eh. Ito yung interpretation niya at gagawa siya ng libro. Ito yung yoga talaga. That's the root cause of watering down no practices. Parang ano lang yan eh. Speculate. Parang chismis lang siya. Diba? Si Marites, yung mga meme. This is my guilty pleasure. Tawa ng tawa sa mga memes palagi. Hindi ko kailangan manood ng TV, hindi ko kailangan manood ng mga current events. Masaya na ako sa few seconds ng memes na mga ginagawa ng mga Pinoy, mga tao. Creative ng mga Pinoy. Si Marites, di ba, may bahana, nagkukwentuhan pa rin sa labas. Diba? Same. Speculation. So don't be enamored with this pseudo gurus, spiritual person, talking about speculation. Chismis lang din yun. Yung nililigawan si Martes sa kabilang barangay, may anak na. Same thing. Speculation. The mind is very tricky. It can be your worst enemy. It doesn't mean you have a lot of followers. You're saying the truth. A lot of it, if you really think, may mga, ano pa nga dyan eh, may nagsabi sa akin, may mga documentation pa nga raw sa Netflix. Tapos yung mga ngayon, yung mga uso, they will have sadhu appearance, saintly appearance, long beard, look like renounced. But if you scrutinizingly take a look, study their philosophy, and tituro nila, babalik sa kanila that they are God to worship me. That is what is called Mayavadi. They will have flowery words na para, yes, some of it is coming from the Vedas, pero the essence na ginagawa nila that they are also God. So worship me. Or they will have a group, they will create a commune, and there will be free sex. Then the money is there. Uncontrolled senses. So totally different. Again, speculation. You can make it big. Ang daming ganun. Pwede yung palakihin yung speculation, invento. Fake news. So ganun din. So you have to be careful. You have to be vigilant. Who you follow. Who's your guru? San line yun? Ano yung scriptures na binabasa mo? Hindi porket bestseller yan about spirituality. Tama na eh. When you read it, madalas nyo makikita sa fully book. Titingin ako ng mga spiritual books dito. Mo, ang daming bunch of just speculation. Even the Bhagavad Gita, ang daming version. You would see, they only speculate. Yung battlefield, hindi talaga nangyari yan. Yung war, sa katawan ng tao yun. No, it's not true. Even scientists, even Discovery Channel, National Geographic, pinuntahan nila yun. Napuntahan ko rin yun. The Battle of Kurukshetra, the places, they prove that Mahabharata happened. Even the years, the fossils. So, ang dami pwede mag-speculate. For what? It's fame, money. Philosophers, Big Bang Theory. Theory pa rin siya hanggang ngayon. Nilagay lang sa libro. The theory of evolution. Even yung mga students ni Darwin, dinibunk na siya. Pero nilagay lang nila sa book. Then people are just, following blindly. So, the process of Krishna consciousness is really to use the brain. If you're not engaging the mind and the intelligence, it will be just entertained. So, ganun yung senses natin. If you don't engage it right, it will be just entertained. It will be just doing other things. Sabi nga, idle mind is the devil's workshop. And if maging enemy mo yung mind, if you're not in control of the mind, it can bring you to the darkest place. The light is the knowledge coming from the teacher. Yan. Ito. Who has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance, with the torchlight of knowledge. So yeah, we are understanding now kung sino tayo. We are not the mind also. We are not the senses and we are not the intelligence. So let's not be proud if marami tayong alam. It is only by the mercy ng ating teachers. That's why we are knowing again this knowledge. Originally, we know this. That's the nature of the soul. Sachit Ananda, eternally blissful and knowledgeable. Originally, we know this. But since we have this body, we have the forgetfulness, remembrance, and knowledge. Naging mix-mix yun. Depends sa mercy ni Krishna, sa blessing niya. And because of our unwanted baggages, nakakalimutan natin yun. In my own experience, I was always doing meditation even when I was younger. Tapos, to be honest, ang dami kong memories na hindi ko na naalala. Ano may mga, parang wala namang sense. Pero nagulat ako, naalala ko mga before 1-year-old. So, it's not mysticism, it is just like clarity. Nag-aral ako maglakad, tapos I confirm it, tapos nakita ko yung picture, may picture pala nun, tapos kinonfirm ko sa parents ko. Same thing. If you have clarity, kasi matagal na pala akong, parang teenager pala ako, huminto na ako mag-television, ang dami ko namang hindi ginagawa, and doing other things. So, narinig ko rin yun sa mga experiences ng mga ibang saintly person. They have sharp memory, lalo na yung mga naka-practice ng celibacy. They have very good and sharp memory in detail. Conscious sila sa diet, kung ano yung pinapasok nila sa mind nila, diba, sa mga information. So if one is doing that, and they're much more in control. Tiyatawag silang Goswami, kaya yung mga guru, like Giridhari Swami, he is a Goswami, master of the senses, a guru. Because if one is master of the senses, he is allowed to, he is qualified to receive disciples all over the world. Not those pseudo gurus na they could not control their senses, doing drugs, teaching yoga, then at the same time doing drugs, intoxicant, engaging and all. So that is totally against the Yoga Sutras, the Yama Niyama. So it's much more deeper than that. Of course, wala namang magsasabing hindi na siya dapat bigyan ng certification. Pero the real sadhus in India and all, like, anong, may mga libro kasi nagsulat na, if you're a yoga teacher, we suggest na you become this in this diet. Ganito. Anong we suggest? No, it's a must. So again, it will be watered down. So one should not be pressured also. Hindi ako ganito, discourage ka na. No, it's a process. It's not an all or nothing scenario. It's a process. If one gives you a suggestion to be sober, to be more than sober, to meditate, don't take it an offense. Wala yung freedom ko. It's a fake freedom. Freedom to sense gratify. But at the same time, it is just another form of imprisonment. Kahit mag-rally ka, tanggalin mo yung bagong presidente. Sino ipapalit mo? A different poison a different flavor of the poison. So that's why the greatest revolution is spiritual revolution. If one is elevating themselves, that's the greatest revolution. If one, you put a high conscious leader, mas maging okay yung society. Which is ayun yung nangyayari dati. That's why may mga emperor and all. But of course, na-watered down siya ngayon. And that's the nature of this material world. Papunta doon. Hanggang there's Kali Yuga. So if you're reading, you will encounter these terms. So knowledge is knowing what's happening, what will happen, what is the nature of the mind, what is the nature of this body, what is the nature of this world. Experiences will be there. You cannot expect a paradise because this is earth. So you must be grounded. So get your japa malas, your chanting beads. It's a nice way to start the week. Hindi ko alam kung anong start ng week. Ano ba talaga yung start ng week? Monday or Sunday? Weekends. Yung mga questions sa buhay na walang sagot. Ano? So start the week, right? Kahit Monday ngayon. O talagang start talaga to. This is my motto. Mas Monday, di ba? Yung iba ayaw na Monday. Mas Monday, dapat mas grabe ka mag-grind. Not just grinding for money. But your service, mas productive ka. Mas okay yung consciousness mo. Umpisa pa lang. Kaya umaga pa lang, ganun din. So we meditate on the present moment. Let's not let the past come in our meditation. We cannot do anything about it, what we've done and not done. Sabi nga, forget it. Also in the future, we should not worry. Hindi ito yung time para magplano ka ng gagawin mo ngayong araw or the rest of the week. Hindi ngayon nagka-chant. Hindi ka gagawa ng things to do ngayon habang nagka-chant. Forget it. We're not dreaming. You should be in the present moment while we chant. This moment connecting to the Supreme, knowing yourself, knowing others, is one of the precious moments kasi it's recharging you spiritually. We meditate that we might be aware, at least be aware, on our senses and how the mind works. And hopefully, be aware, mas makontrol natin yung mind natin. So what we have now is within our power. Again, always choose to be attentive in hearing, chanting with clear syllables, and chanting in the right mood from the heart in all humility. So find your comfortable position. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. If you memorize the mantras, you can close your eyes later to lessen the stimulus around. If you're feeling sleepy, then open your eyes or half close your eyes. And if your mind goes away, inhale again and bring it back. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Recite with me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashade Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Chant from the heart. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bring back the mind, control the mind. Focus on hearing and chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bring back your mind. Focus on the present moment while chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With the remaining beads, chant from the heart and let's go deeper. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Giridhara Shri Vasade Gaura Bhaktivinoda. If you're finished, please type 108. If you're not yet, please continue to do so. Chant from the heart. So how to maintain the beads? First, just like the books and the beads, we should not put it on the ground. We should not touch it with our feet and bring them inside yung mga unclean place. So, hindi siya pwedeng pasok sa mga restroom, sa CR. You could wear it in your neck. You could have a bead bag. So, this bead bag, you can chant inside it. And we have the counter. How to count your minimum runs. So, marami. Orange lang sa akin, pero maraming design na ito mga to. You can have one, I think sa temple dito meron, then have yours DIY or personalized. So when you go out, you can still chant. Do Japa walk. Maraming students dyan sa BGC nag-Japa walk. Nag-chant sila while walking. Of course, it's much safer and ideal while sitting down, focus ka. Pero you can also do a Japa walk instead of your mind flying around. And those who have wooden beads, you can put oils. Yung iba, linseed oil. I use coconut oil saka mga scent oil sa beads. Sometimes you can wash them. Not all the time. Maganda pag may oil na siya. So, it will not be weakened by the water. So, I have to make it clean. So, if everyone is finished, this is our assignment. This is due sa Wednesday. So, yung assignment natin last Saturday will be due tomorrow morning. Ano ba tayo nun? Chapter 3 na. So, this is due sa Wednesday. Ways you are maintaining your body now, currently. Lifestyle you have that you think you need to improve. And what are your challenges maintaining this body? So 2 to 3 sentences, 1 sentence is okay. You can PM me your answers in different form. Yung iba nagkasend sa akin naka-layout, naka-PDF, naka-Word. Walang problema. So, hindi ko alam kung pwede kayo magkopyahan dito. I think hindi. Yung mga iba sabihin ko pag pwede. Ito, kanya-kanya yan. So, yes. So the minimum rounds, iba tayo may counter. Because like the monks, we have a vow to chant minimum 16 rounds. You don't have to do it right away. You can have it as your goal then. That will be 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So, kanina nag-chant ako 5:30 to 7. Meron na akong 14 rounds. So, that's the meditation. But, the important is, you have your minimum. 1 round ba yan? 2 rounds ba yan? It's your minimum rounds. Ibig sabihin, you will not go below. But you can chant more. And araw-araw yan. Slowly but surely, like you'll chant 1 round for 1 month. Or slowly progress. After 2 weeks, kailangan 2 rounds na ako. And the more you chant, the more you get into that meditation, the more you will feel you need it. Hindi you want the more you feel you need it. Pag wala nun, mapapansin mo, teka lang, parang iba ako mag-isip pa. Parang iba ako without this mantra meditation. The previous students will attest that. I've been chanting since when I was 13 years old. 33 na ako ngayon. Diba? Nag-work ako, nag-high school, nag-college, nag-business, nag-arts. I'm chanting. So, yeah, it will be your best friend. Yung mga nadaanan mo sa buhay. Broken-hearted ka, masaya ka, malungkot ka. So, habang kukwento ko, you can type your realizations sa takeaways. Magka-chant ka, it's a deep connection. Alam mo yung marami ka pinagdaanan, then you have your beats chanting kahit ano mangyari. And you're connecting to Krishna. And kakaiba siya. I've tried a lot of meditation. I've tried a lot of other things also. But chanting is different because you're directly connecting personally to the Supreme. It's not Om. Om is also name of the Supreme. It's like a general name, Mr. Pero if you know the person's name, it's deeper, diba? Si Starbucks nga, marketing nila yun. Tatanong nila yung person, nickname mo. Ngayon, kakaiba na. Pag pinasa mo yung tracing yung pinifilapan sa phone, hindi na tinitignan yung date, tinitignan lang yung pangalan mo. So, they will remember you. And iba yung feeling kapag tiyatawag ka by your name. So, ganoon din kay Krishna. We connect personally. So, you can type yung realizations and questions nyo. Pero picture muna tayo, everyone. Yan. And if you have some posts, please tag me then. It will encourage yung mga different students. And you'll get the well wishes of them. Yes, nice to see. Ayos yung head ba ni Manmin? Yes, yan. Everyone, count of 3 and 1, 2, 3. Sige lang, umabol sila Karisabi. 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. I'm always humbled and honored being with your presence. Hindi kompleto umaga pag di kayo kasama. Kakaiba yesterday, no? I think meron pa ring nag-log in kahapon ng umaga. Nakita ko sa email. Pero yes, Monday to Saturday tayo. But next Sunday, I will invite you for some other classes every Sunday and others. So now, focus lang tayo every 9 to 10. So please continue to finish your rounds palagi. If you have 2, nakaisa ka na ngayon. You can chant more. If you have some errands to do now, please do it with extra sensitivity with others because hindi lang tayo yung may inner battle. Lahat sa paligid natin may kanya-kanyang battle. Let us be an instrument, even without speaking, na maging light yung battle nila. By our actions. Even yung expression natin, even yung mga kind words. Hindi mo kailangan sila bulahin, ha? Pero yung vibes mo, alam na yon your intention. And the best, you can pray for them. I have this learning from another teacher. They are traveling, mag-asawa sila everywhere. Ang rule niya, kapag nakakatinginan niya eye to eye yung person, papagdasal niya yun. And I've been carrying that. Parang, it's a reminder. Okay, I will pray. I will meditate for the wellness of that person. And ano yung meditation natin? Hopefully, you'll be awakened spiritual in the near future. Kasi ano ba ipipray natin maging successful siya sa buhay materially. And he's doing that. That's out of our control. But the peace of mind, the happiness, the real happiness, eternal happiness will come from our awakening spiritually. So that's how we can share sa kanila. So we will encounter a lot of people the rest of the day, hopefully. If not, sarili mo lang. Pero still, you will encounter with your own self. Be aware of your mind, the senses, and how you deal with them, with action as well. And how you talk, inner talk mo. Kailangan alam mo yun. Thank you very much. Let's see yung mga ating, you can leave the meeting, pero yung maraming magandang kwentuhan nangyayari sa question and answer portion. Tapos mamaya may talent portion. Nandiyan ko lang. Sabi nga nila, yung ibang classes actually, may ibang question and answer kami umabot ng 30 minutes, 45. Naging podcast. Yan. Sabi ni Manmin. Yes, minsan nga ganun, di ba? Like, even yung file, pag naglilinis ako ng mga folder, napupunta ako dun sa mga folders na parang, sarap tignan na ito. Tapos wala na, hindi na productive. Kaya minsan kailangan focus kayo. Especially like cleansing. Cleansing or healing. Di ba? Lagpasan natin yun. Huwag mo balikan. If you have to burn yung mga pictures sa letters ng ex mo, sunugin mo na. Huwag na i-keep yan. You have to move on. Diba? Pag-ibig talaga, agree yung mga tao. So yes, that's part of moving on. Yung mga past natin, move on. That's your past. Diba? Yung Marina nung past na yung problema doon. Ikaw, mag-focus ka. Yung Marina ngayon. There's a question from Bhaktin Milka. How do we get better in our next life when we forget the lessons in our past life? The goal is to don't have a next life. To finish this lifetime and we will not take birth again. Kaya yung mga devotees, pag kumakanta sila ng Hare Krishna, ng Happy Birthday, then Hare Krishna, sabihin nila, may you never take birth again. Anong ibig sabihin nun? After this lifetime, you go back to the Supreme Lord, to the spiritual world. Heaven and hell is also part of the material world. That's different from the spiritual world. So we wish na tapos na yung cycle of birth and death natin dito. That's the goal. And if wala na tayo sa material realm, material body, automatic, babalik na yung eternal blissful, eternal happiness natin. That is the nature of the soul. Nakakalimutan lang natin kasi may covering tayo with the body and the illusion. So that's the goal, to not have a next life. Yung next life natin will be with the balik tayo back home, back to God. Kasi yes, makakalimutan mo yung mga lessons ngayon. Like what we've learned in our previous lives. Pagka baby ka uli, mag-aaral ka uli maglakad. Sakit uli yung ngipin mo. Diba? Iyak na iyak kasi hindi mo ma-express yung sarili mo. Hindi, cute kaya yung baby, pero nung baby ka, pag imagine mo or nirecall mo, hirap, di ba? Tumutubo yung mga buto mo, ang sakit sa katawan. bubuhatin ka ng bubuhatin ng mga tao, tapos hindi mo naman sila gusto. Hirap maging baby, diba? Goal natin di maging, ang problema para pag baby ka tapos hindi ka human. Diba? You're an animal, tapos makita mo yung nanay mo doon, nasa kapila kayo sa slaughterhouse, papatayin na siya. Or pag panganak sa'yo, as a calf, hiwalay ka doon. Diba? Too much suffering. This world is happiness and distress at the same time. So the goal is to um, stop that cycle of birth and death. Pero habang nandito tayo, habang we're present in the present moment, hindi natin kailangan mag-suicide to escape because you'll become a ghost. If you commit suicide, if you untimely, the desire is still there. We have to purify our desire. We have to move on. And the best way is to also share that to others, to awaken others. That's the best way to progress in our spiritual life. So yes, that's the goal. To not take birth next life. If I can chant fast but all pronunciation correctly, is that okay? Yes, there's no hard and fast rules in chanting. You can chant slow if that would make you much more attentive. It will be unique in everyone's, in the different people. I do chant in, like, pag nagka-chant tayo, that's my normal pacing. But in the morning when I chant, I do chant much faster. Kasi 16 rounds. If you chant 16 rounds really slow, mga 3 hours, 4 hours ka na nagka-chant. So, because we have minimum rounds. At the same time, mas alert ako doon. So, iba-iba. If now you can chant much lower and you're attentive with that, okay, it's okay. The quality is greater than the quantity. But of course, habang may quality ka na, increase mo slowly. Okay, 2 months na ako, kailangan ko na progress. Gawin ko naman 3 rounds minimum ko. So, it will be another level. So, slowly but surely, that's why it's minimum. So, if you're chanting 5 palagi, okay, sige, gagawin ko ng 3 rounds yung minimum. So, you over-deliver. Under-promise, over-deliver. Hindi yung puro promise lang tayo by words. Rata-charang, kaya ko mag-16 rounds. Nagawa ko lang siya 3 times. The rest is mahirapan. So, that's your minimum. Ikaw yun. Ikaw yung nakakaalam nun. Diba? Pero if alam ko yon, kung ano yung minimum rounds mo, ita-chat kita kasi tatanungin ko kung tapos ka na sa rounds mo. I'll be your alarm. Your reminder. That's my duty. So, yes. A takeaway is that some things we can't heal by revisiting the past. And we just have to move forward. Yes, madaming ganito. A lot of things nga hindi mo na kailangan balikan. Diba? Kung napaya ka sa harap ng classroom mo nung bata ka, kasi nakalimutan mo yung i-recite mo, hindi mo na mababalikan yun, diba? Be a better person, galingan mo. With that experience, make it a fuel. If you have fear sa may stage fright ka, make it a fuel to do it. If nabully ka, you cannot bully others. Diba? Be the kindest person na pwede maging kind ka. Just moving forward. Tapos babalikan mo yung mga tao ng bully sa'yo, tapos siya nakalimutan na niya. Nag-move on na siya. O kaya may unknowing na offense ka naramdaman sa ibang tao. So, okay lang siya, normal lang siya, hindi niya alam yon. Tapos narinig mo lang pala over yung division niyo sa office. Tapos ikaw offended ka, ilang linggo ka nang di mapakali, hindi makatulog. Just move on. There's no reason to confront, di ba? O kung hindi para sa'yo yun, di ba? And daming ganun, di ba? Parang nagbabasa ka lang sa Facebook, feeling mo ikaw na yung tinatamaan. Diba? Remember, hindi ikaw yung sentro ng universe. Hindi ka palagi iniisip ng mga tao sa paligid mo. Diba? Kahit artista ka pa, hindi ikaw yung sentro ng mundo. So, don't think. It's much more a lot of false ego na lang. Ganun yung kilay niya sa akin. Feeling ko, ito yung pinaparamdam niya. Ito yung sinabi niya. Hindi palaging ganun. Hindi ko yung sentro ng mundo. So, we can move much more. Of course, merong mga intentionally na ginawa sa'yo. You have to move forward. It's like forgiveness. Forgiveness is a gift for you. Kasi if one still holds the grudge, yung isang makikilala niyo rin isang teacher dito, lagi niya ako nakwento, it's just like drinking a poison and expecting that person to die that is holding the grudge. You cannot forgive that person. O kaya patay na yung gumawa sa'yo nun, tapos hindi pa rin makamove on. You're still drinking the poison, tapos ina-expect mo siya yung mamamatay. We must forgive even with them without asking for forgiveness. It's for you. It's for us. So, it's a deeper way. Diba? Lalong-lalo na yung mga talagang traumatic. It's hard. We might need help. Diba? But don't patch it up with other devices or intoxication or shopping, Lazada, diba? So, kailangan lang natin ng proper association, mga like-minded person sa paligid natin to help us with that. And healing, sometimes automatic na yon. Diba? Minsan may sugat ka na maliit, like I have it here, nagluluto ako. Minsan kahit hindi mo siya pansin, mag-heal lang siya eh. Diba? So as we move forward, so ayun yung automatic. That's especially when we chant, automatic. Lalabas lang siya. Huwag mo nang pansinin. Huwag mo nang balikan. Nag-chant ka lang, tinext mo ng ex mo. No? Hindi naman gano'n. Awayan niyo ako, di ba? Yan, sabi ni Olo. When I chant slow, my mind tends to wander, Prabhu. Oh, edi kung gano'n. So, I chant fast and keep my attention on the correctness of the mantra and hear attentively. Thanks, Prabhu. As always. So, word class. Intergalactic class. Kasi we're talking about intergalactic topics. Yes. Depende sa nature natin eh. Minsan, our mind is always racing. Tapos pag mabagal ka mag-chant, mauna yung mind mo, di chant fast. If you're like slow, your dosha, your personality, your nature, diba? Melancholic ka, slow. So, yes, sure. Chant a little bit slower. But minsan kailangan mo i-time kung gaano katagal mag-chant. Minsan pag sobrang tagal, lumilipad lang pala isip mo, you're just dreaming. Or hindi pala nagmo-move yung beads mo. So you have to be aware palagi. It's a big challenge chanting. So it's a big challenge. One is consistently doing that na hindi dahil sinabi ni Radha Chara mag-chant, na may taste tayo mag-chant, ang sarap na nun. Ngayon, we're parang jump start. Diba? Pag yung sasakyan, minsan kailangan mo itulak para mag-start. So, ganun. So, ako yung tutulak sa inyo minsan. So, huwag kayong mairita sa akin. When you get the flow, the groove, you'll enjoy it. And of course, another challenge na naman. The mind, other people, weird mo na, what are you doing? Nag-yoga ka lang and tapos bumubulong-bulong ka pa dyan. ang daming mga kakaibang challenges. But it's fun. It's fun. Krishna consciousness is fun kasi it's personal. We'll learn much more. Next time, I'll invite you sa mga cooking demos and other activities. And of course, we should meditate na matapos tong pandemic na to. So I could invite you here. Mag-yoga and vegetarian party tayo rito. Pre-pandemic, that was the norm here. Ang saya. Itong pandemic, naging online. Natuto ako mag-Zoom, bumalik ako sa Facebook, bumalik ako sa Instagram. Which is okay din. Hindi ako nata-traffic madalas. By the way, Wednesday, I'll be in Manila again. Dapat ngayon pero naka-fasting ako. So, Wednesday na lang. Let me know if you want to meet up, if we're around the area. Paano pag kayong kasama ko ayaw niya maging like-minded? It's okay. You don't have to require them. It's them. Matrix siya, Prabhu. Diba? Anong pill ba yung tinake niya? Ano ba yung pill ng society? Blue pill yata. Nakakumutan ko na. Paano ko po i-handle yung ganitong situation with my housemate? Yung i-handle mong situation is you. Do not judge. Find the sweet spot, of course. Do not be do not be harsh or even you have the truth. You should have the kindness how you will communicate. And give space. Diba? One way or the other, galing tayo dyan. Galing tayo sa ganung lifestyle. Diba? May time. Paano sila mapupunta sa lifestyle na yon? Hindi lahat makukuha sa harsh or sa pilitan. Sometimes your kindness will give, may nagbago kay Stella. Diba? May something sa vibes niya ngayon. Then they will ask you. A lot of times ganun. Yeah. When I was younger, ganyan na experience ko sa bahay. And unang nag-practice, ang unang nangungulit sa akin, brother ko. We're into underground music, hardcore, punk, metal, arts. No, we're not mainstream kids. We're into skateboards and all. Tapos biglang wala akong bisyo. Tapos biglang ako nagkatsanta ko tapos nagbabasa ako ng libro. It's not cool for a metal or a for hardcore kids. Then my brother's always like teasing me and all. Tapos yung mga question niya, nakita ko sa libro. I am answering. Tapos I'm not against them. So, yeah. Ayun, nagpa-practice din siya. So, same to yun na parents, kontra-kontra talaga sila ever. Parang, syempre, pinakanak tayong ganitong practice, dapat ganito tayo mamamatay. Typical Filipino belief na close. Tapos, hindi na ako makain ng luto nila kasi vegetarian na ako noon, 13 years old. May mga sinasalihan mo, yung mga words na noon. But I was advised sa akin ng mga monks, I was never too, resistant, may mood sa debate sa kanila because with all due respect, nayaan ko lang sila. Sabi ko lang sa isip ko na basta pag 18 years old na ako, alis na ako dito. 13 o 14 years old pa lang ako. After a while, nakita nila, mas okay ako. I mean, conscious effort. Tapos yung brother ko, ganun din. Tapos okay. Tapos hindi na ako madala sa bahay kasi hindi sila naguluto ng gulay. Alas ako ng alis. Then my mom, inaral niya kung paano ako nagluluto. Tapos nagluto siya ng best nun. Minsan nag-effort siya, iniiwalay niya yung luto niya, tapos yung gulay, without cross-contamination. Then my dad, kahit macho image, metalhead, ginawa niya ako ng altar. So, same thing, with kindness, with nakikita natin by action. Siyempre, iba-ibang experience. Then, even yung mga nasa matrix, minsan hindi lang matrix, even minsan offensive pa na tao sa paligid natin, they will vibe it. They will vibe it. You just have to be strong with your sadhana. Kasi ayun yung mararamdam nila. If magpapadala ka rin sa agos nila, hindi baliwala. Diba? So, yun. The way to handle, I could advise is from my own experience. Same. Just be kind, lalo na kung may family members or gusto mo mag-transition into this diet, plant-based diet, tapos this meditation, tapos may family members ka around you, diba? You just have to be gentle. Your kindness and yung pagiging gentle mo yung magiging key to touch their hearts. Thank you very much. Sa any tip po paano i-handle na yung na-judge ka ng mga tropa mo dahil sa iba yung practice mo and antichrist ka daw, ganon. Tawa ka lang. Wala, people will judge you. You do things, they will judge you. You don't do things, they will judge you. What can they do, di ba? If tropa mo sila, they will understand. Asa din ka sa umpisa naman, pipilitin ka uminom. After some time, hindi na. Mag-asawa sila sa'yo. When I was in college, ganun din. Diba? Mahal na mahal ako ng friends ko. Kahit sober ako, hindi ako nainom. Kasi ako maghahatid sa kanila sa dorm nila. Afterwards, kulasing na sila. I'm just friendly. Diba? They trust me. Kung totoong tropa mo talaga sila, after that stage, they will respect you. Mas maganda kung walang judgment, kung mas mature na. Pero syempre, andyan yung asar, andyan inom. Kasi ganun tayo dati. Diba? So, we must respect that time and all. Sa kanila ganun din. And trust me, ang dami sa akin ng asar. Hindi uso yung vegan and vegetarian early 2000s. Ang dami sa akin ng asar ng high school. Nung college ako, lalo na ngayon, they will seek advice. Diba, bata, sa 30s pa lang kami, may high blood na ako eh. Siyempre yung name ko dati, they will call. Tapos meron akong high blood na. Gusto ko plant-based. Paano ba yan? Pero sila yung mga nangungulit sa akin dati. Nag-judge, tumubuli ng aasar. Because of different Normal yun, Prabhu. You will experience that. How to handle it? Be stable with your emotion. Don't be easily offended. Have a thick skin, pero sensitive ka sa ibibigay mo sa iba. Yung iba kasi baliktad eh. Wala silang pakialam sa iniimit nila sa ibang tao, pero sensitive sila sa marireceive nila. Like Pinoy, lakas mang asar, di ba? Ang lakas natin mang asar sa mga gag show natin. Pero pag Pinoy inasar ng ibang bansa, offended tayo. Iba natin yung ganitong bansa, iba natin yung ganitong show. Diba? Malakas ka mang asar, dapat di ka pikon. Well, gano'n naman kasi nature nun. Kung malakas ka mang asar, So, baka i-judge ka nila, baka malakas ka rin mag-asar dati. Seriously speaking, hayaan mo lang. If totoong friends mo sila, maintindihan nila yon. Sa umpisa, ganun talaga. Mamiwirtuhan sila. Diba? If you're still kind, lutuan mo sila na masarap, matikman nila yon. They will vibe you. They will ask you. Diba? Sometimes they will practice the same higher consciousness, chanting, the diet and all. Yan. Sobra. Yan. Pag nawala ka talaga sa bisyo, iba talaga kasi hindi ka nila kasama. Ganun talaga yung nun. Ganun talaga yung trend nun. Feeling ka nila hindi samahan mo sila in other samahan mo sila sa breakfast. Diba? Samahan mo sila pag nagpapabasa sila ng tama, pagluto mo sila. Kung you're cooking spiritualized food, there's this thing called prasadam. It's a food, sattvic food that you offer, and it will be spiritualized. And the vibration of this is very different. You offer it to them. I remember like my friends, yung mga taga Makati, hindi ko lang po naabutan niyo yun. Hindi naman siya old school. There's this place called Time sa Pobs. Hindi maalala ni Marina, baka you're too young. Time, alas 7 pa lang pumaparty pa rin sila. Alas 7 ng umaga pumaparty pa rin sila. So, napunta ako isang beses when I was younger. Hindi ko vibe. Pero yung mga friends ko, nakikita-kita kami pagtapos na lang lumabas. Ako, kakagising ko na lang nun. Simula na ako ng araw ko sila patapos pa lang. But, I'm still giving time. Yung iba sa kanila, like, good friends ko pa rin hanggang ngayon. They visit me here in the temple, pre-pandemic. We do meditate. Sila nasa art scene pa rin, nasa fashion world pa rin. So, ang daming ways and means. Pero kung hindi mo talaga sila kaibigan, ayun ang habon nila sa'yo is bisyo and all. Alam mo sino talaga yung kaibigan mo, hindi. You will know. Lalo na if you're having the high consciousness, you don't judge, but you will know. Diba? Automatically. Kasi hindi ka na intoxicated dun. Thank you. Back to work. Please do so. Please work. Do not leave your work. There's like Arjuna. Krishna told him to not leave the battlefield. Do it, but with the right consciousness. Akala ko, Prabhu, sa pera lang mawawala yung tropa, sa bisyo rin pala. Yes. Diba? Lalo na kung ikaw yung nalilibre, tas hindi ka na nalilibre sa bisyo. Mabawasan. Ganun naman, pag tumatanda talaga, yung circle of friends mo talagang liliit. Kahit pa influencer ka, kahit marami kang followers and likers, circle of friends mo palit ng palit. Diba? Kahit politician ka pa. Pero pag mayaman ka, padami ng padami. Madami ka rin kamag-anak. Yeah, some circle of friends, yeah. Some lang naman, pero alam mo yun, parang we are 28 si Marin, 28 basta partying early. Yeah. Early retirement. Ayun tatawag na early retirement, Marin. Diba? Wala ngayon pandemic eh. B-side lang po ang tambay. Napuntahan ko rin, dami kong friends sa Canto Art Gallery. Before we were displaying books there. Monks are going to Canto Gallery. They were playing kirtan. Si VOV din, naging friends natin. So yes. Si Stella. Bakit nakita ka sa sa Canto before? B-side. That was early 2010s. Si Levi nakita ko sa Canto when I was into arts. Yeah, pero si Levi, wala na siya. Lagi ko siya nakikita before sa mga bundok. Kahit saan, kakagulat lang kami, nakikita kami. Kahit sa bundok pa yan. So thank you very much everyone. Hopefully, our session is mindful. Please have a mindful day. And yes, we could always express and vibe sa ibang tao without even speaking. Mas mahirap yon. Practice it in ourselves than do it. Let others think whatever they need to think. Pero in time, you will know your real spiritual squad. After this naman, after a few weeks, I'll invite you dun sa VBA group chat. You will meet other yogis, other meditators, other like-minded person. Yung iba sa kanila, hindi ko nakakasama pa sila nagkasama-sama. Lumalakad na sila, hindi ako kasama. Bira kasi ako mag-Manila. But yes, I'll be in Manila this Monday. Let me know if you want to meet up, catch up, if you want the books. And Yes. Yeah, later we have classes. But yeah, see you tomorrow. Medyo deeper yung classes mamaya. If you're interested, let me know. But I'll see you tomorrow. Do your assignments. And Hari Krishna. Bye-bye. Marina, Sigmund, McCoy, Chloe, Mel, Oliver, Milka, RJ, Stella, Manmin. And tag me sa mga pinapost ninyo. Instagram, saka Facebook. Chat and chant. Okay. High five.